most of us work on embedded system products. So sometimes we might just work only on part of firmware or part of hardware in some of the designs. But yeah, sometimes we may get to work on end-to-end products where you start from the requirements and then you go till the certification level. So one of the major fights in embedded systems is between the hardware and the firmware, keeping aside the other domains, mechanical, software. So there will be discussions, there will be fights over there as well. But the major fight is between the hardware and the firmware people. So for the hardware guys, they feel hardware is the is the toughest and firmware is the easiest one, whereas the firmware guys feel um, their firmware is difficult and hardware is the easiest. So everyone will be of their opinion. So if there is a issue that comes up in a board, so that's where the actual drama starts. So people try to push on each other, um, while they might come up with a solution at a later point of time, but still when the initial issue comes up, the hardware and the firmware fight is very exciting to watch. So outsider who is beyond the project definitely enjoys this fight. So recently when we were working on one of the board example, I just wanted to give, um, there was a problem, the controller was not working as expected. It was not booting up. So now, in that scenario, what we did was we tried to probe different things, and we came to know that the crystal was not working. It was RTC crystal, so that controller required crystal as well. So the crystal was not working. So how we came to know is we just tried to check if there was any dry solder on the hardware, and we tried to probe on different points of the hardware. And when we probed on this crystal, um, we came to know that the crystal was not working. Initially it was working when we checked, but suddenly it stopped working. So that was RTC crystal. So when we probed, it was not working. When it was working, and when we removed the probe, the controller stopped. So this was a typical scenario. There was suspicion on the assembly, there was suspicion on the manufacturing, and we thought this could be an issue with the routing. But finally, putting all this aside, finally we realized that it was an issue with the RTC battery which got drained off. So that caused this issue with the RTC. And while the issue was somewhere, we had to think a lot to find out the actual issue. It's not that easy to find out that issue, because no one would suspect that. Now, in a similar way, we were working on one of other project where the firmware guy was trying to build a new project. So when he was trying to build, he is getting a build error. He was unable to compile the file and then build it. Now what he did was, he was doing different kind of things, trying to get the data from the internet, see if someone has faced an issue, talk with the customer. So he was doing several things. He was just clueless because he took the file from the manufacturer, because those are the files which they give for initial checks, and you have all the drivers and files along with it. So he took that SDK and he started working, and he is seeing a build issue. For example, it was saying a file is not found, or a directory was not found. So later he realized that it was an issue with the folder structure being long. Like instead of keeping it in a one directory, the next level directory after the D drive or C drive, whatever. mm, he has used a number of folders. The folder structure was very long. Because of it, the IDE was not pointing to the uh, things directly, things properly. So simple issue, but again it was difficult to find. So as a hardware engineer was seeing all this, he understood what is the complexity. Like a simple thing might be very difficult to debug sometimes. There are other scenarios where the program builds properly and then you download it and it doesn't work. In the hardware also several scenarios where the firmware guys would have seen. So it's not that a hardware or a firmware, when we are building a embedded product, a hardware guy should have a knowledge of firmware, a firmware guy should have a knowledge of hardware, and when these two guys come together, they can build a product. For example, if you say this a simple MSP 32P401 evolution board, so to come up with this, the hardware and the firmware guys, I'm just giving an example, the hardware and firmware guys would have worked together, understood each other's problems, coordinated each other rather than putting the blame on each other. So the first thing, the embedded engineer, if someone is coming new to this field, one of the major points they would remember is that you just keep your thought process away, that you are just a hardware engineer or a firmware engineer. You need to think at a broader level, at a system level, and you need the knowledge of all these if you want to be a good embedded engineer in future. So this message is mainly to people who are just entering the embedded field, and the examples are just to explain the scenarios. So definitely most of us would have had sleepless nights in bringing up some of the products that we have designed. So each of us know the difficulty of this embedded system, especially electronics is not a simple field. We just need to think at a very broader level to come up with a proper design. Hope you agree with my points. If you have any comments, suggestions on this video, please post it in the comments section. Thanks for watching.